noise for Kyle Wagner, please.
What's up? Like our host said, I'm a little new, so, you know, I don't have many words for you, so I'm just going to get right into this. This is syncopated relations.
No, Kyle!
Do it! You! She once told me that with me it was love at first sight. She saw me round in the corner at the terminal at JFK and she said she knew right then she wanted to spend the rest of her life trying to make me happy. She's been there for me for as long as I can remember. From that first December afternoon, I've been her stars, her sun, and her moon. Now it feels like I'm about to ruin that. I mean, honestly, imagine you're her for a second. Now, how would I tell you that there's someone else? That if I don't get to know her, I don't know if our relationship can ever be whole. How do I tell her that? How do I break her heart with these words and explain that she can't? Renee Zellweger would complete me. This conversation, this patricidal verbal assassination delivered softly, is the onus of every adoptee making the costly decision to define himself, finding liberation in the elimination of equivocation of words like parent, mother, and father, deciding if their etymology is based solely on biology or if it's rooted in the psychology of being the ones to revive me as they tried to be everything that anyone ever asked them to be, from the time that her faulty fallopian tubes forced them into a philanthropic foray into the Far East, begging to be saddled with the burdenous responsibilities that crushed families before them, taking them over as a privilege. 4 times over. So yeah, that was his mustache and 6-foot stature that I promised to emulate as a child. Those were her golden locks that I clung to on the first day of school as the teacher tried to separate us and later as piercing eyes tried to segregate us. Those were their eyes that my sisters and I stared into as they did the best they could to explain the paradox that is indiscriminate discrimination and how a nation that claims to be colorblind can with our color blindness behind these color lines that we cannot cross over, which they had to explain like Crayola coloring books because we were young and didn't understand shit like that yet. So I can't forget how lucky I was in this parental roulette, regardless of any pejoratives and negatives that pop up, because I realize anyone flawless. I mean, they left me with deep-seated issues of abandonment, displays of affection, and inferiority. But within my interiority, it's not hard to see their lessons articulated in cliche, but forged in undocumented actions of unrewarded compassion. They've given me the determination of St. Sebastian with self-esteem of Woody Allen. And within these qualities, I find the fortitude to assert with certitude my conviction that I've been nurtured into the man I am today. And that would be enough, except that subconscious echoes of Poussin reverberating 10,000 miles from their source daily crash against the walls of my mind and disperse, leaving behind an air of indefinition as if trying to remind me of a time before I was sentient, unearthing layers of sediment of incognizant sentiment harbored for the place of my birth and the woman who gave me my first name, back when my first name was my surname, but I don't even know her name, let alone her story. I mean, I know she bore me, she didn't abort me, but she didn't adore me enough to keep me. And I say that like it was easy, like I know what she was feeling, like she couldn't feel me growing inside her for 9 whole months, assuming I wasn't a preemie, but damn. I want to know what forced her hand. What were her reasons? Was she young? Maybe 14 and worried she couldn't support me? She couldn't afford me, so she decided to deport me. And honestly, these imaginary hindsights into possible timelines have brought to the foreground that which before now was only an abstract possibility. The probability that in all likelihood, I'm the product of a faulty prophylactic. That my genesis before anything else was a rush of panic as the 28th day ran into the 29th, 30th, 31st, and 32nd. That as my conception's reality set in, no expression could satisfactorily convey the calamity of the situation. That my inaugural identification was that of a tragedy. So yeah, stakes have been raised for this question of identity, for this dichotomy of the nature-nurture philosophy, but still I wonder, am I guilty of some hypocrisy because I realize my genes are why I'm 5'5" with slanted eyes, but still I deny my genetics are why I'm gifted to rhyme that started at conception. I say it was after I departed, but does that lessen the gift I've been imparted? Like, I can't be born talented, but I can be born retarded. And I'm sorry, but that doesn't sit right with me. So this fight between my loyalty and my longing has come to an intellectual impasse that seemingly will last until I can come to some sort of true influency for this culture that bore me. So presently, my divided affections for these syncopated relations are all I have to offer. But how do I tell her that?